naturally delicious. Core Brewing, the official craft brewery of the Razorbacks. And by the University of Arkansas Online, offering flexible degree programs. Apply now at online.uark.edu. The preceding has been a Learfield presentation of the Razorbacks Sports Network.
You've been listening to Arkansas Razorback Basketball on your home for the Hogs in Central Arkansas, 103.7 The Buzz. This broadcast was presented by Network Services Group, Bale Chevrolet, Genesis of Conway, Lion Legal Services, Red River Ford, Kaufman by Design West, Malvern National Bank, R-Care, Parker Cadillac, Arkansas Scholarship Lottery, Blackman Auctions, GWATNEY Chevrolet and GWATNEY Buick GMC, and Crane Hyundai of Conway.
Injured? There's only one number you need to know. Dial 8. 888-8888.
At Rainwater Holton Sexton, no case is too big and no insurance company too strong. Just dial 8. 888-8888.
We are battle-tested, big case injury lawyers who've recovered millions for our clients. Just dial 8. 888-8888.
Been in a wreck? Anywhere in the state. Just dial 8. 888-8888.
Responsible attorneys Michael Rainwater and Bob Sexton.
Vegas, baby! Vegas, baby! Hogs are going to the Sweet 16! Hogs are going to the Sweet 16! Vegas, baby! Mark pulls up. Foul line jumper, good! Tremont Mark has been Mr. Clutch.
This is the GWATNEY postgame show, brought to you by GWATNEY Chevrolet in Jacksonville and GWATNEY Buick GMC in North Little Rock.
Left side, Brazil with the shot clock expiring, makes the three! Trevin Brazil with a three-pointer, Arkansas by 12.
With another edition of Arkansas basketball in the books, it's time to break down the game from every angle.
Graham Steele, the head to Devo for a throwdown. Razorbacks turning it up.
Live from Walk Ons Sports Bistro in Little Rock, here is Wess Moore and Josh Neighbors.
6 seconds, 5 seconds, Shepard into the front court. Gives it away to the big fellow, 1 second, and it is over.
The Razorbacks put up a valiant fight at Rupp Arena, but they fall 111-102. Glad you're with us. I'm Wess Moore, joined by Josh Neighbors, and we are at Walk Ons at the patio today.
Outside of us.
This is awesome. Hanging out, watching the little Diamond Hogs right now. They lead 4-1 in the fifth inning. Brady Taggart running into in the fifth inning. Brady Taggart with runners on first and second, 2 outs. We'll be watching that game, talking about the Razorback basketball game. But I would invite you to join us at Walk Ons and hang out for a little bit. Patio is an awesome place to watch the games and eat a little lunch.
I had the
dinner.
Tuscan chicken today. Fantastic as always.
Yeah. Well, let's get to it. Arkansas played really well offensively, shot the ball well, attacked the basket, made their free throws. Defensively, a lot left to be desired with Kentucky scoring 111 points, but that's Kentucky. Kentucky's one of the best offensive teams in the country, and to me, this game came down to the very end. It was a tight game with under 4. Kentucky had the lead, 95-92. Arkansas led at the under 8, 86-79, but Kentucky, when it mattered, scored every possession. Arkansas could not get a stop down the stretch. And then the Razorbacks missed 3 layups in a row. And those were shots they were making, or those were shots they were drawing fouls and going to the free throw line. They didn't get the fouls called at the end of the game, and they missed the layups. And then Kentucky converted, and all of a sudden a close game got away from Arkansas for the second straight time against Kentucky. It came down to the wire. Kentucky made the plays. Arkansas didn't, and they lose the game.
It's funny, Wes. They played 2 completely different games, but both of them felt pretty similar in terms of how they ended up going. And I know that this one got away from Arkansas a bit earlier, right? But the Arkansas lead was a bit bigger in this one. So I think in terms of actually totality, it did play out pretty similarly. The first version of Kentucky and Arkansas went the way the Hogs wanted it to in terms, I thought, pace and the way the game looked. This one went Kentucky's way in terms of pace and the way it looked. And I think the Cats coming out on top in both games is not a mistake because they are a better basketball team. Now, the knock against Kentucky is also part of their strength, right? They want to get up and down. They want to get in those spots. And look, they did get stops today against Arkansas, but the big knock against Kentucky is when it comes to the elite teams, right? We saw Tennessee go into Rupp and beat them in a high-scoring game. Against the elite teams, it doesn't always work out. And even today, it might not have worked out for them against Arkansas, who's not an elite team. But generally speaking, against the lower-level competition, not the top teams in the conference, and by extension, the rest of the country, Kentucky can play this pace and can win pretty often.
Kentucky, to me, is not an elite team. They're a good
team. Yeah,
it's
a big debate.
I don't think they can defensively. They're not going to stop anybody. And their defense is bad. I mean, there were times.
It's funny because they did at Auburn, right? The one game they go to Auburn and they get stops in that game. But then you look at and last week against Alabama they did too. Then you look at games like this. It's like, man, you can't stop Arkansas. You kind of worry. That's when you get worried about them.
Yeah.
Right?
No, Arkansas drove to the paint all day
At
long.
will.
Arkansas won the battle. That points in the paint, Arkansas won 48-38. They outscored Kentucky 48-38 in the paint. And a lot of times when you get 48 points, most times you get 48 points in the paint, you're going to win the game. Mm-hmm. Problem was Kentucky went to the free throw line a ton. They shot 42 free throws today. Arkansas went to the free throw line a lot too, 28 times.
It was so good today from the line.
27 of 28.
That's awesome.
They missed one free throw in the first
They still
half.
battle too, and I mean he shot so many of them, so you're gonna miss eventually.
Yeah,
but
it was his first free throw of the
I guess
game.
it was, right? Yeah. He ripped off 17 in a row after that.
Wow. Yeah. 27 of 28 from the free throw line, but Kentucky 34 of 42 from the free throw line, and that was a big difference in the game. Kentucky knocked down some threes, but then Arkansas got hot. Davenport hit back-to-back threes.
Right.
Yeah, and so Arkansas ended up shooting the ball well from the three-point line. It wasn't a big disadvantage for Kentucky at the three-point line like it was earlier in the game. But to me, it just boiled down to the end of the game. Can you get stops? Arkansas did not get any stops down. I don't know if they got a stop down the stretch. I meant to go back and look at the play-by-play list. I felt like Kentucky scored every single possession down the stretch. And like I said, Arkansas missed a couple of layups, makeable. I mean, good layups, like layups they should miss. Even Mekhi Mitchell had a layup on a foul. It could have been an and one, but he missed the layup, and he made both free throws, so you left a point there. But Kentucky you said it, Kentucky is a better team. I have no problem saying that they are a better team. They're more explosive. They've got better scores. And they've got a little better size.
They're deep with the scoring too. The size is they've been maligned for the way that their size is played, especially on the defensive end. They're a terrible pick and roll defense team. I think about when Arkansas did it all day today, but like the tape that really is damning for them is the Gonzaga game. Gonzaga goes into Rupp and just runs middle pick and roll for the entire second half, and Kentucky had zero answers for him. But to your point, Wes, I just went back to where it was Arkansas in front in this game. 5.5 minutes left to go. Dillingham 2 free throws. Dillingham made basket. Justin Edwards made basket. You're not seeing Dillingham 2 free throws. You're not seeing many missed shots here from Kentucky. A whole lot of them going to the line. Ooh. A whole lot of them making baskets as well. And
sorry, we had the baseball game, and Kendall Diggs just turned on the ball. And
that was
he may have hit it on top of the new Performance Center there out in right field. I couldn't see where it landed, but he got all of that for a solo home run.
5-1. So there's some positivity for Hog fans today. And look, you should.
The Kentucky game was a positive for me.
Yes, I think I would be cautious in the way that I think about it as a positive, just because Kentucky plays a lot of games like this. Now, not everybody scores 100 against Kentucky, right? But the fact that Arkansas's guards now are actually performing at this level is that's something I think we can talk about. Because look, when push does come to shove against the best teams in this league, no, I don't think Arkansas is going to win the games. But if we're talking about performances like today against other teams in a conference tournament setting, which obviously is the entire focus now of the Arkansas season, if we talk about, hey, where can you make something special happen? Their guard play, Mark and Battle,
awesome,
can score. They scored all day long with Kentucky's guards.
I had a problem with at the end of the game when Arkansas started struggling to score. Yeah. I didn't like the ball in Mark's hand. I wanted it in Brazil's hand. Because Brazil had been so effective getting through the paint, getting free throws, going to the line,
and also moving
finishing,
the ball too.
And Mark had just slowed down. They had a couple bad turnovers where he was. Yes. Remember the one he was trying to throw it to Mitchell and kind of lobbed it. There were back-to-back turnovers. There were a couple of missed shots. I thought the offense kind of bogged down with. And Tremont Mark has responded well all year, right. But I think Kentucky did a good job with their defensive matchup. and I would rather seen battle with the ball at the end of the game.
Well, that's the hard part for Arkansas is the fact that, once again, these guys are ball-dominant guards, right? So they had these awesome stretches today. I think the timeout where the Arkansas lead balloon, was it to 9? So the largest lead of the day was 9. I think that was what it ended up being.
84-75.
So
yep. After Davenport hit back-to-back threes.
Was like this horrific offensive possession where the ball was moving, but it was almost moving too fast. It was like, all right, guys, slow, it went to the corner, and the crowd on the corner, they were able to pitch it back up top, and then I think Davenport almost kind of jabbed and had all that space and makes the three. Whatever happens there, they do need to slow down, just a touch, but still, it's this balance. How do you slow down but also keep the rock moving? And that's one thing about the middle pick and roll that worked so well for them. And a lot of pick and roll this year, it's worked well for them. Makai is so good at moving the ball. And I think that's been a huge factor for them all this season. But I think you're right. They kind of reverted to who they were in the end. These guys are ball-dominant guards in the end. And Mark had a really good game, but the ball was sticking a bit more towards the back end of the game. And for Kentucky, it feels like everything's fast. Even if the ball sticks with one guy, it's a pick and roll, right? They're trying to get to the rim. They're passing off to the big guy. I always forget how to pronounce his last name, but it's a defensive rebound for him. The ball is not sticking with Kentucky, and they're getting good quality shots, good quality looks, essentially every time.
We'll take our first break right here. When we come back, we'll take some phone calls. I see the phone lines starting to line up. 661-1037, 661-1037. I'll read some of the feedback. We get some feedback on the Southern Structural Solutions text line yet?
Not yet, but I'm sure it's coming.
You can text us, 661-1037. You can come by Walk Ons, grab you something to eat, and join us on the postgame show. This is a lot of fun. This is a great day. Watching little Diamond Hogs. They got a rally going. This is the GWATNEY Chevrolet, GWATNEY Buick GMC postgame show.
GWATNEY Chevrolet is your destination for big Chevy savings. For a limited time, get a 2024 Equinox SUV for just $22,390, or a roomier 2024 Tahoe SUV for just $65,499. Restrictions apply, so be sure to visit GWATNEYChevrolet.com to learn more about these big Chevy deals. Or stop by and see us at 1301 TP White Drive in Jacksonville for a test drive and more savings on your favorite Chevy models. Chevrolet. Together, let's drive.
Injured at the game? Don't wait. With Ortho Arkansas Saturday Sports Clinic, athletes can find out over the weekend if their injury will sideline their season. Athletes are seen by one of Ortho Arkansas's fellowship-trained sports medicine physicians and may receive x-rays, an MRI, an exam and diagnosis, and a personalized comprehensive treatment plan to get them back in action as quickly as possible. Open Saturdays from 9 to 11 a.m. at 800 Fair Park Boulevard in Midtown. Ortho for all. Ortho Arkansas.
First Security has been putting our home state first since 1932, helping fellow Arkansans and their families buy homes, grow businesses, and build futures. Today, First Security is still committed to helping you bank better, providing local solutions and local support. Places we love too. It's community banking with people you know and people you know you can count on. First Security. Bank better. FSBank.com. Member FDIC.
This is the Pigskin Preacher, bringing you the word. When tensions were high between the Soviets and the Americans, communist leader Nikita Khrushchev did something pretty awesome. He gave President John F. Kennedy and his family a dog. The dog's name was Pushinka, whose parents Pushak and Strelka were Russian space dogs. Pushinka quickly became part of the Kennedy family, and Khrushchev clucked, "We have one of our Russian operatives in the White House." But like all good dogs, Pushinka was more interested in treats than intel. Doublebee's has the treats you love and great deals on all kinds of Munchables. My go-to is a 44-ounce Pepsi Zero with a splash of vanilla, or a Coke Zero with just a hint of cherry. Delicious, refreshing. Doublebee's. It's where you gas it, grab it, and go. That's Doublebee's.
Take your yard up to the next level with the Caddy's Touch Landscaping. Josh Dickinson is a former PGA Tour caddy, and his landscape designs are inspired by some of the most beautiful golf courses around the world. Call Josh at 501-794-2770 for all of your landscaping needs. Flower beds a mess? Josh's crew can give your home the curb appeal you've always wanted. The Caddy's Touch Landscaping also installs French drains, retaining walls, and they'll even take care of your irrigation maintenance needs. The Caddy's Touch Landscaping. Call today, 501-794-2770.
Get a great deal on making the most of every property with Kubota commercial landscape equipment. From mowers to track loaders to utility vehicles, it's a lineup built to uphold your reputation. Right now, bring home the Kubota Z700 mower for 0 down, 0% APR for up to 60 months. Now through March 31st. See us or go to KubotaUSA.com for more details.
River Valley Tractor, your leading Kubota dealer of Central Arkansas, with 5 great locations to better serve you. River Valley Tractor, it's closer than you think.
Join the Zone each weekday for the Entertainment Report, brought to you by Bell & Sword of Conway. Find out the very latest breaking news and entertainment each day on the Zone. Justin, DJ, and I will dish out what the stars and celebrities have going on, and you can catch it each day. Bell & Sword has everything for the best dressed man, from boots to suits. Check them out on Facebook or Instagram. Bell & Sword at their new and larger location at 1011 Oak Street.
From going out of bounds to Ellis, back to Devo. Davis with a layup on the other end. The Razorbacks have the lead again.
Great effort from the Razorbacks today, but they fall short 111-102 to Kentucky at Rupp Arena. They were like a 13.5-point underdog.
I saw yesterday was the largest dog Arkansas has been in the Eric Musselman era.
Wow. Yeah, and well, they covered, and they
did,
and it wasn't really even close. And we had several people call in yesterday on Out of Bounds saying take Kentucky in the points. And
if you haven't watched Kentucky much this year, I mean they're such a bad defensive team. Like they're 95th, I think, in Ken Palm adjusted defense. And I know that they kind of killed Alabama last week, but Arkansas played them close first time around, and Arkansas's guards have been hot enough recently too. I thought they could keep it somewhat competitive. They did, and then some.
Let's take some calls. We got Savage. He joins us now. Savage, welcome into the GWATNEY Chevrolet GWATNEY Buick GMC postgame show.
What's going on, fellas? Doing all right?
Good.
Yes, sir.
The only thing I question is the clock management as far as using your timeouts. Within 10 to 12 minutes left in the game, you had 3 timeouts. At the end, we get gassed, and then you know what happens when you get tired. You make stupid fouls, and you can't get the jumper off because your legs are dead. But Wes, what's your thought about 3 timeouts from the 10-minute mark, and you don't use any of them? What's your thoughts? I'm going to get off here.
I never really thought anything about their timeouts. I thought Kentucky and Calipari got himself in a little bit of a corner because he took so many timeouts early, and he only had 1 left at the end of the game, and it could have come into play. It didn't. So I guess he looked smart for using the timeouts when he did. But because Kentucky were using those timeouts, I thought Arkansas was able to get some rest because of Kentucky. There was a time, and they were right close to the media timeout. I thought Musselman could have called a timeout, but he didn't. And they ended up, I don't know, a couple possessions later, they got the foul, and the media timeout came into play anyway. I don't know, Savage. I didn't ever see anything where I was like, call a timeout. Why aren't you calling a timeout?
Think about it like this too, Wes. The way Arkansas games have been paced, we've complained about it so much because you almost don't need them because the way the games go, honestly, the guys are getting enough rest as it is because it's not like the pace is like, we've had 3 minutes without interruption. At the end of these games, there have been so many fouls that you should honestly be getting the breaks. And then from the Kentucky side of things, like you mentioned, for Cal, they shouldn't be needing timeouts if things are going the way they're supposed to for Kentucky. You're probably the one taking them. They want long stretches of free-flowing basketball. Yeah. That's what they want.
I will say this. It was a long game. It was one of those where...
The second half was really long. Because the first half felt like it actually went with some pretty good pace.
Well, it was when Davenport hit the back-to-back threes and they were up 9. I was like, man,
it's like 10 minutes left or whatever it was.
They got a chance. And I look at the clock and it was 8:51.
Yeah, exactly.
I was like, oh, wow, we still have a long way to go. Yeah, this game's got so much time left. So at that point, you don't want to use the timeouts because you're on a run. So maybe under the 8 timeout, but before Savage at the under 4 timeout was 95-92. So Kentucky had made a run there. They had taken the lead. So yeah, maybe in between the under 8 and the under 4 would have been a good time to take a timeout and get this team a chance to catch their breath. Extended minutes today. I would have to think Mark and Battle.
Yeah, I was looking at the bench points numbers. That's insane.
Well,
there were 85 bench points between the two teams today, Wes. That is an extremely high number for a college basketball game.
Dillingham came in, put up some huge numbers, and
for
Bradshaw.
Kentucky, obviously, it's they
Shepard had 10.
Right, Shepard comes off the bench, but
Z had
I mean,
12.
for Arkansas, it's really high.
Yeah.
And I know Mitchell has been coming off the bench for them, but Davenport.
Davenport
man,
had a good game.
We've
off the
talked
bench.
about him a lot just because he's had some really ineffective stretches.
Yeah.
Today, this was the kind of player they needed him to be, right? If you're going to take those shots, you need to make those. And 3 for 5 from 3 free throws hit. The free throw shooting today, once again, so good. So that's one area I feel like Arkansas has been really good the last few games. They've made their free throws.
Top 5 in the country in free throws attempted and free throws made.
Yeah.
David is watching us over on Facebook. He said, we played very good today. We looked motivated and wanted this one, proud of them and the effort we played with. Hopefully we play like this the rest of the year. Yeah, I echo that, David. I did. They played very hard. They got after Kentucky. There was a stretch when they took that lead. They did it defensively, got some stops, got a couple of steals. And then at the end of the game, they couldn't get any stops. They couldn't get any steals. And Kentucky got the stops and got the steals.
Yeah.
Let's see. This comment from Facebook. Moss is set to have a worse regular conference record than Mike Anderson after 5 years. Is he really a, quote, great coach because of 2 3-game winning streaks and 1 2-game winning streak in March?
Well, you know me, Wes.
Yes.
I don't think he's a great coach, so I'll let you. Yeah.
I think he is a good coach. Great coaches have won championships. He has not won a championship, but I do think he's a good coach to go to 2 Elite Eights and a Sweet 16 with Arkansas in now 5 years. So, yes, I'll say he's a good coach. And I'm not – SEC basketball is not about who's winning conference titles.
No.
Not for me. Alabama's won a lot of conference titles.
Right.
Are they happy with him?
Rick Barnes has done a ton of winning in the regular season. How many big championships? Yeah. And are Tennessee fans completely happy, with how their program's been? I mean, they should be happy-ish, but it feels like they should have done a bit more winning in March than they have.
If you would rather have an SEC title than a run to the Elite Eight,
right,
then I think you're dead wrong, and there's something wrong with you because it's not about how you finish in the regular season; it's how you finish in the postseason. And Musselman's been able to do it 3 of the 5 years, making runs to the Elite Eight or Sweet 16. I think people forget Arkansas hadn't gone to the Sweet 16 before Musselman got here until, what was it, 2000?
Yeah, it's been a long
1999?
time, right? I mean,
yeah, it had been 20 years.
Right.
And now people are spoiled because they're not going to the Sweet 16 this year. They're not going to the Elite Eight. There were so many, A, just not even getting to the tournament, or B, getting to the tournament and losing in the first round. So, no, I'll take getting to the Sweet 16 Elite Eights any day. And I don't care if they went 8-10 last year and still ended up in the Sweet 16. That is a good year.
It's about finding your form at the end of the season. I mean, this is, speaking of Kentucky, Wes, how many times have we seen a Kentucky team in January and early February look like a disaster? And by the end of the season, they've found their form, found their best version. And for Musselman, he's been very good with that, about having a team play their best basketball. And honestly, like, some of these Arkansas players are actually playing some of their best ball right now at the end of the season. Now, once again, it's a personnel group that does not mesh very well, but it's a great point. And also, the one thing about the NCAA tournament is, because there's so many quick turnarounds, the fact that they beat Illinois and they beat Kansas in a short period of time, like, that's really difficult to do. You're prepping for one team that you hear about on Sunday, because normally, here's the thing, you can schedule it out your prep, right? This assistant coach is grinding film for this team. That's a week away. This one's grinding a week and a half away. This one's grinding 2 weeks away. The NCAA tournament, you don't know who you're playing until that Sunday. So then Sunday, then you're playing on Thursday. Then Thursday, you'll play on Saturday. And the fact that Musselman's teams have done so well in those quick turnaround situations, preparing, winning again, that shows you that in the certain situations, he has been one of the elite coaches at times. Once again, regular seasons leave a lot to be desired. And I think it's part of the growth is finding form earlier in the season. Right?
Yeah, and I think his philosophy is we're going to be at our best in March.
Right.
And if that means losing some games in January and February, so be it. We're going to tinker and figure out how to have the best team playing, or having the team play its best in March to make a run. We'll take a break. When we come back, we'll hear from Eric Musselman. We'll also take some more of your phone calls, 661-1037. 661-1037. This is the GWATNEY Chevrolet GWATNEY Buick GMC postgame show.
Penny Cobb Burkhalter here, reminding you that GWATNEY Buick GMC has the best team in town. And with the purchase allowances, cash back, and low rates currently available, upgrading your trade at GWATNEY is a slam dunk.
Call 501-945-4444. 5700 Landers Road in North Little Rock. GWATNEY, BuickGMC.com. GMC, we are professional grade.
GWATNEY Buick GMC next to Sam's Club in North Little Rock. With sales, service, and collision, there's no need to drive past us.
First Security has been putting our home state first since 1932, helping fellow Arkansans and their families buy homes, grow businesses, and build futures. Today, First Security is still committed to helping you bank better, providing local solutions and local support. Places we love too. It's community banking with people you know and people you know you can count on. First Security. Bank better. FSBank.com. Member FDIC.
Injured at the game? Don't wait. With Ortho Arkansas Saturday Sports Clinic, athletes can find out over the weekend if their injury will sideline their season. Athletes are seen by one of Ortho Arkansas's fellowship-trained sports medicine physicians and may receive x-rays, an MRI, an exam and diagnosis, and a personalized comprehensive treatment plan to get them back in action as quickly as possible. Open Saturdays from 9 to 11 a.m. at 800 Fair Park Boulevard in Midtown. Ortho for all. Ortho Arkansas.
This year, elevate your style in a Cadillac. Go from bold to bolder in a stunning Escalade. From inspiring to awe-inspiring in a sophisticated CT4 or CT5. From credible to incredible in a dynamic XT4. Visit your Central Arkansas Cadillac dealers.
There is nothing better than calling the Hogs with your fellow Razorback fans. And now is the time to join the team and become a part of the Razorback Foundation. Fans can join for as little as $4.17 per month. The financial support provided by Razorback Foundation members makes a once-in-a-lifetime experience possible for more than 465 student athletes. Your gifts provide scholarships, academic support, training, and nutrition, as well as professional and personal development assistance. Being a member allows you to access season tickets, priority seating and parking, tailgating, invitations to exclusive coaches and player events, as well as 20% off at Slim Chickens in Northwest Arkansas. Your support will help the Razorbacks continue on the path of success and bring home even more SEC and national championships. Already a member? Great! You have until March 1st to renew your membership. Join by calling 479-443-9000 or visit RazorbackFoundation.com. That's 479-443-9000 or RazorbackFoundation.com. Go Hogs!
At Arch Marine, we just called in our latest flock of hunting boats. Look at these ambush boats by Legend Craft. The perfect style and function for years of successful hunts. How about letting us customize a well-built boat for particular needs? Vary any of our boats with a Tatsu outboard. All the boats at Arch Marine are rugged, and our selection and prices are unmatched in Central Arkansas. We also offer full service on ATVs. So, before you hit the deer woods, come let our certified technicians make sure you don't have any breakdowns this fall. Get in now before these deals fly away. Your granddaddy trusted Arch Marine, and so can you.
If there's anything green in your yard right now, it's probably a weed, and you need to do something about it. Weed control and fertilization service from Sanders Ground Essentials is easier and less expensive than doing nothing or trying to do it yourself. I did that one time and almost killed my yard. Sanders Ground Essentials saves you time and money and makes your yard the envy of the neighborhood. Don't wait. Do it now. Call Sanders Ground Essentials and get started with Sanders Ground Essentials Weed Control Program. Servicing all of Central Arkansas, including Benton and Bryant, on the web at sandersground.com. Let's get growing.
Mark's going to walk it up. Kentucky's going zone. How about that? Mark, right side, screen, sets him free, and he buries a three-pointer. That'll bring him out of the zone.
Arkansas did a good job tonight shooting the three, this afternoon. They shot the ball well. What was their final numbers for the
7 for 17 from 3.
7 of 17?
Yep.
And to me, that's about the right number of threes they needed to take. I didn't see many ill-advised threes in this game to where, you're like, I was thinking that's a bad shot. They shouldn't take that shot. I thought for the most part they took what was given to them.
Yeah, they did. They did a great job, I thought, with the three-point shooting. And that's the one thing. I know Musselman doesn't like it when they shoot a ton of them, but, Wes, if they're going to be a negative on defense the way they are, you are going to have to take and make some more threes. I mean, it's just the nature of basketball, especially modern basketball. The reason why 16s are starting to beat ones, you're seeing more of that is because 3-point shot is such an equalizer.
Yep.
That's just kind of the nature of the game. You need to take and make threes if you're outgunned and you can't stop teams.
Over on the Southern Structural Solutions text line, someone listening pointed out they hadn't been to the Sweet 16 since 1996, and I knew that was the number. I wasn't sure offhand, but yeah, sure enough, 1996. So let's don't forget about the history and how hard it was for Arkansas to get to the Sweet 16 for what would that be, about 22, 21, 25 years?
Yeah, no, I mean, I was not born when last time that they were.
Oh my
They went
gosh.
to a Sweet 16.
Yeah.
Pre-Musselman era, and he did it 3 times in a row. 3 times in a row.
From the 501, when you're down 10 points on the road, you call a timeout.
Sure, depends on the situation.
Well, they were down 10 in the first half at one point, right? And didn't call a timeout and battled all the way back. Look, Musselman just doesn't use his timeouts. That's who he is. He has said that time after time after time. If that irritates you, fine. But he doesn't do it. He doesn't use his timeouts. He likes to use it for the end of the game. He feels like I've coached my guys throughout the week to handle this, and they know what to do, so there's no need for me to call a timeout. So he saves his timeouts. That's what he does. That's who he is. You can criticize him for that, but that's who he is. He's not going to change it. David says, great effort today. David, I agree. Josh Muss has been the best Arkansas has had since Nolan in the 90s. Come on, Josh, you don't think Muss is – Josh wasn't saying that. You weren't criticizing Muss for –
Yeah, no, I said he's not a great coach. I think Bill Self is a great coach. I think Scott Drew is a great coach. I think those guys.
You don't think Muss is top 15 experience over his 10 years? Not top tier, dude. Come on,
top
Devo.
15. I mean, I don't know, but great's top 10, top 5. That's the kind of the great. I think there's very few great coaches out there.
Yeah, it's just what you consider.
Yeah, I mean, my great coach tier is it needs to be the guys who are elite levels, who are winning. I mean, Jay Wright, is a guy who's a great coach, not coaching anymore. You know what I mean? There are very few great coaches. I think, in my opinion, still left coaching in the game. We just had so many leave.
Yeah, that's fine. You have a different definition of great than David does. I think, and I kind of tend to agree with you. Great means winning championships, making multiple trips to the Final Four.
I mean, I would say Tom Izzo was a great. I don't think Tom Izzo's much of a great, as great of a coach as he was at one point. The game kind of passes people by. That's why I'd say active great coaches. It's a very short list of guys. I think. I mean, I'd say Rick Barnes is a borderline great coach. And you could make the knock against him. Hey, he's had so much regular season success, but hasn't gotten it done in the tournament. And so, if you wanted to make the argument against him, say he's not great, I would hear that. That's why my great coach tier is so short. So, good coach. Not a great coach.
Glad we have him?
Yes. Oh, my God.
Okay.
Oh, my God. Yeah. I mean, you kidding me? No, yeah.
All right, let's hear from Eric Musselman.
Eric, you guys are right there with about 8 minutes to play, up 9. Had played so hard to get that lead. Well, what do you think happened there at the end? I guess other than Kentucky being really good.
Yeah, I mean, I thought our team played extremely hard. We had a couple costly turnovers, Bob, that I thought changed the complexion of the game because they were live ball turnovers. So I would say, the 2 crucial turnovers and, the effort, was phenomenal today by us and by Kentucky. Kentucky played as hard as I've seen a team play, and I thought our team, being here live, our team played as hard as we could play as well. And we made the decision that we were going to run today. And, the couple turnovers and baseline out of bounds defense, those are 2 areas that, that I thought changed the complexion of the game. And then the 42 free throws attempted, really hard to overcome. Not sure that I've been around a team that played this hard, went 27 to 28 from the foul line, had 10 steals, 13 assists, and come away with the loss. But, you're talking about a Kentucky team that can win a national championship, and then playing in their building,
Yeah, Dillingham, he obviously didn't play the last game. I know you guys had some guys back who didn't play now and either, but what'd you think of Dillingham and his impact, especially late?
He's NBA draft pick. He's fast. Makes really difficult shots, but he's 5 of 13, 0 for 3 from the foul line or from the 3-point line. So I thought we did a good job taking away his 3-point shot. He made 5 field goals. So coming into the game, an NBA first round pick, if you can hold him to 5 field goals, we'd probably be fairly happy.
And then it's been an up and down year, but I thought maybe this was as good as y'all played all year, given the the competition and the venue and all that. Just how do you feel about how y'all played, even though I know it's a tough loss?
Thought it was by far our best offensive game, not even close. Thought we played as hard as we played all year. The effort, the focus, the belief, all those things were as good as they've been. They were, it was the locker room that pregame thought they were going to win, halftime thought they were going to win, and throughout the course of the huddles, thought we showed great toughness. I thought we got on the floor for loose balls. You look at the field goals made, and it's 34-34. The 3-point shots, 7-9. We took 3 less. Rebounding close enough to, for us, 28-42. That's the number that sticks out to me.
Yeah, I might have a couple more. I'll turn it back to Mike. Thanks. Scotty?
Yeah, Eric, just how much of a challenge was it today to try to find the best match in the front court with the foul issues that you guys were experiencing?
Problematic. Both our bigs, foul out and not easy, but I thought guys stepped up. I thought Davenport had his best rebounding game of the year. We needed him to rebound the ball today because, out of necessity with the fouls, obviously with Chandler and Mackay, we were going to need somebody to rebound the ball, and JD, did that for us.
Sorry if this has been asked already, but just thoughts on KB. He's averaging about 30 in his last 5 games.
Well, the 18 FTAs, he did a great job attacking the rim. We missed, Bob asked a question, and I talked about, a couple baseline out of bounds plays, and I talked about our live ball turnovers, but we also missed, I think, 3 layups, the last 6 minutes of the game, or there was contact and we missed it. That was an issue as well from an offensive standpoint, because other than that, offensively, we played as good as we could, other than a couple live ball turnovers and then some missed layups because we were trying to score points in the paint.
Anthony.
And you mentioned it a little bit there, but obviously there at the end of the game, I believe you guys went on a 5-minute stretch without a field goal. Can you just talk about what you feel were the causes of that, and how did, I guess, kind of Kentucky take away what you guys were looking for?
I think I mentioned live ball turnovers. I think I mentioned some layups. I have not had a chance to watch the film, but that would be the answer. We scored enough points to win. If you go on the road and you win 102 points, we scored enough points to win today. So that would be, that's how I would answer that.
Well, final question. Yeah, Eric. Sorry. You came off a tough loss, but I thought really played well, as you've alluded to. Just what do you think that says about the team, and maybe can you is this even this late in the year, is something you can build on for next week when you got a couple of tough games to close it out, the regular season?
Yeah, I mean, Bob, every coach that I've worked for, your job is to try to continue to improve throughout the year. We did not play very well at all against Vanderbilt, but we were down double digits and came back and fought and gave ourselves a chance to put the game in overtime. Although we played poor basketball in that game, we showed some life towards the end of the game. And again, yeah, I mean, are we making progress? Today we made progress. Yes, we played our best offense. did a great job focusing on the foul line in a very tough environment. Defensively, we weren't that good, but this team has done that to other teams, especially in their own building. We had a chance to beat a team that has a chance to win the national championship. Did we lose? Absolutely. All the credit goes to Coach Calipari and Kentucky. But in that locker room that we represent, I'm extremely proud to be associated with their effort and the way they battled tonight. And that's all you can ask a group of young men, and that's what they went out and did tonight.
It's Eric Musselman following the loss to Kentucky. Your final score in this one, if you're just joining us, 111-102. We are at Walk Ons. Fantastic day to be out on the patio watching the Diamond Hogs.
It is.
They exploded for 4 in the fourth, 5 in the fifth. They lead 9-1 with Will McIntyre on the mound. So it looks like they're on their way to winning the series. They can go for the sweep tomorrow over Murray State. When we come back, we'll talk more about the basketball game. Because it's, I know a lot of people out there are just confused. And it is confusing to me to look so bad against Vanderbilt and look good against Kentucky. Why is this team so inconsistent? We'll talk about that when we come back. This is the GWATNEY Chevrolet, GWATNEY Buick GMC postgame show.
GWATNEY Chevrolet is your destination for big Chevy savings. For a limited time, get a 2024 Equinox SUV for just $22,390, or a roomier 2024 Tahoe SUV for just $65,499. Restrictions apply, so be sure to visit GWATNEYChevrolet.com to learn more about these big Chevy deals, or stop by and see us at 1301 TP White Drive in Jacksonville for a test drive and more savings on your favorite Chevy models. Chevrolet. Together, let's drive.
First Security has been putting our home state first since 1932, helping fellow Arkansans and their families buy homes, grow businesses, and build futures. Today, First Security is still committed to helping you bank better, providing local solutions and local support in the places we love too. It's community banking with people you know and people you know you can count on. First Security. Bank better. FSBank.com. Member FDIC.
Injured at the game? Don't wait. With Ortho Arkansas Saturday Sports Clinic, athletes can find out over the weekend if their injury will sideline their season. Athletes are seen by one of Ortho Arkansas's fellowship-trained sports medicine physicians and may receive x-rays, an MRI, an exam and diagnosis, and a personalized comprehensive treatment plan to get them back in action as quickly as possible. Open Saturdays from 9 to 11 a.m. at 800 Fair Park Boulevard in Midtown. Ortho for all. Ortho Arkansas.
Where the Hogs hit the hardwood. 103.7 The Buzz. KABZ Little Rock.
Ride free, ride bold. Richards Honda wants you to immerse yourself in the Honda Rebel 500's untamed spirit of rebellion, reigniting your passion for the open road. With the ageless allure of cruiser styling and the versatile power of a twin-cylinder engine, this exceptional machine seamlessly blends form and function. Equipped with state-of-the-art enhancements, including full LED lighting, a slipper assist clutch, and optional anti-lock braking. Richards Honda at 6600 South University is your place to find unrestricted bliss on highways and twisties alike as you transform ordinary journeys into unforgettable adventures. Always wear a helmet, eye protection, and protective clothing. Never ride after consuming drugs or alcohol, and never use the street as a racetrack. Obey the law and read the owner's manual thoroughly. Stop by Richards Honda at 6600 South University and let Rich and his team take care of all your needs. From repairs to accessories to new and used motorcycles and side-by-sides, Richards Honda has you covered.
Hey Razorback fans, it's Quinn Grovey. Check out the new location of Bell & Sword in Conway. Suits, shirts, vests, also polos with Arkansas logo gear from Johnny O and Peter Millar. A store within a store with Arkansas-made Martin Dingman shoes and leather goods. Fantastic service with a tailor on staff to fit you perfectly. Go to the new location, Bell & Sword, 1011 Oak Street, Conway, or on Facebook and Instagram.
This is Pat Bradley for River City Flooring, where you can pick your payment
Get 0% interest for 12, 24, or 36 months, and River City Flooring in Maumelle is where you'll save 50% on all in-stock waterproof LVP flooring. And did you know River City Flooring carries cabinets? So stop in and let my friends at River City Flooring help you with your remodel. Kitchen, bath, living, dining, they do it all. Check out River City Flooring in Maumelle at their huge new showroom on Maumelle Boulevard just off 430.
Listen to Out of Bounds every day to hear about what's trending on social media and whether listeners agree or disagree. Engaging conversations about engaging topics. Sponsored by Arkansas-based West Rock Coffee. Join West Rock and their 1.5 million coffee farmers around the globe as they fuel Arkansans with great tasting coffee, tea, and water delivered directly to your business. Contact them at westrockcoffee.com or 833-886-JAVA. That's 833-886-5282. Call today.
Right free throw line extended. Tried to drive baseline. Hits Lawson at the key. Kick out. Davenport. Top of the circle. Davenport hits the three.
Yeah, good game from Davenport today. Back-to-back threes there at the 8-minute mark. That put Arkansas up 86-79 and gave them a little bit of a spark. And actually, Cal had to call a timeout right there and try to get his guys refocused. And it worked because Kentucky went on a run after that. So I guess maybe to Savage's point, maybe a timeout from time to time from Musselman would help his guys refocus a little bit. David writes in on the Southern Structural Solutions text line, LSU is up at Vandy by 14 with 8 minutes to go. Man, that Vandy loss at Bud Walton Arena is both puzzling and bad. It is so puzzling, and it is bad. It's hard for me to watch this team against Vanderbilt and then turn around and watch them against Kentucky. If they'd have played like this against Vanderbilt Tuesday, they'd have beaten Vanderbilt by 10 points at least. They'd have covered the 10.5-point spread. And then they turn around, and after the Vanderbilt game, I'm like, Kentucky's going to run them out of the gym. And a lot of our listeners were thinking that. And they turn around and played so well on the road against a better team. What is going on? I mean, why is this team so inconsistent? Because we've seen it all year. It's the same, people have called Josh and asked, how can this team beat a Duke and look so good in the exhibition game? At times this year, played good teams, played them well, and then at other times just stink it up against bad teams or against Auburn, against Tennessee. Why are they so inconsistent?
Well, it's mostly, I think it's because their defense, right? I think about Anthony Black last year, and I think this is the one thing that we took for granted was how nice it was to have a guard that, despite the fact he could not shoot, was an excellent passer, was, a guy that could ride for like 30. I mean, he had the most minutes in the SEC as a freshman. And then size-wise, that's a dude who can fight through basically any screen because of his size, because of his length. And also, just like on the ball defense, even outside of ball screens, the guy is really hard to get around. And you lose a guy who's a good distributor, who's a great defender, who can fight through screens, and all of a sudden your offense looks different. Your ball screen defense looks a whole lot different, and your ability to keep the elite guards that you're playing in front of you becomes a lot different. Mm-hmm. And so just having one guy like that really does just change the complexion of your entire program. And it's not like Arkansas doesn't have good guards. Tremont Mark's a very good point guard. But if you're talking about what he brings to the table, he's a good shot maker, good tough shot maker, can move the ball well, give you some three-pointers, can get to the rim, but he's not an excellent passer. He tries to stay in front on defense, but he can't fight through screens, and he's not especially long. So you think about that, and I just think about, hey, this team doesn't have the personnel to do well what Eric Musselman likes to do well. And I think that's kind of a big problem. If you want to hang your hat on defense and you can't defend anybody, then you're probably going to lose a lot of basketball games.
Yeah,
and Arkansas has.
And the length that they had last year at the guard position, even throwing Jordan Walsh, what a good defender he was.
Actually, the guy, look, last year Jalen Wilson was best player I saw in the Big 12 the entire season, best conference in the country. Nobody played that good a defense on him. Jordan Walsh was the best on-ball defender Jalen Wilson had the entire season. And look, that guy won a second-round pick, had a lot he can work on, shot sub 30% from three. But the fact that you had that guy, you could pull that ace in the hole when you play against a Kansas.
Yeah.
They don't have that personnel this year.
No, and then we haven't mentioned Devo and the job he did last year defensively.
Ricky Council, we're seeing him now in the NBA,
Yeah.
right? I mean, like, jacked up shot and all. The guy's an athlete and can defend wings and also get to the rim.
Ricky's in the NBA. Jordan Walsh is in the NBA.
Nick
Anthony
Smith
Black
Jr.
is in the NBA. So there are 4 NBA players on that team last year. And really, it was a different Nick Smith last year than we're seing this year in the NBA.
But still, you have to account for him on defense,
no
right?
doubt. So that's what this team is missing. They're missing NBA players, and they're missing length, and they're missing defense. There you go. That's a pretty good reason.
Here's the thing, Wes. Basketball's not that hard, right? Like basketball, a lot of times is at the elite level. Sometimes yes, but when you think about this team, hey, why is Arkansas bad? Well, they don't shoot the three very well. And, that makes it hard to come back in games. And they don't defend teams very well. So it's pretty easy to fall in holes when you don't defend. If you can't come back and you can't stop teams from getting ahead of you, you're probably going to lose a lot.
Here's a comment on Facebook or YouTube. We have to win the SEC tournament to get to the NCAA tournament. Yes, I agree with that wholeheartedly. That's the only way it can happen, but who knows? Technically, it can happen. It's not going to happen. Let's don't hang our. I don't want people to get excited and think that there's a chance because this team, which we just said, has been so inconsistent all year. You will have to win. They're going to have to win 5 games because they're going to start out on Wednesday in the bottom 4.
Yeah.
You're going to have to beat a Vanderbilt or a Missouri.
Right.
In day 1, then you're going to turn around and beat a mid-level team in the SEC, like in Mississippi State, LSU, Ole Miss. Yes, they can win that. Then you got to turn around on Friday, and you're going to have to beat one of the top teams in the SEC. And then on Saturday, you're going to have to beat another top team in the SEC. And then on Sunday, you'll have to turn around and beat a third top team in the SEC. I just don't
like your odds.
Not at all. I don't see that happening. It would be a great story. It would be one for the history books, but this team is too inconsistent to think that could actually happen.
They've played, let's see, in the year 2024, they have played 16 games. They have got 1 winning streak. It was
of 2 games.
Of 2 games.
And you're asking them to win 5.
5 in a row.
Yeah. The Razorbacks got nothing in the 6th inning. They still lead 9-1. They had a runner on. I was hoping they'd hit a 2-run home run, make it 11-1. Then you come out and get 3 outs in the 7th, and you got the 10-run rule victory. Maybe they'll get a 2-run home run in the bottom of the 7th, walk it off, and win this one 11-1. But looking good for the Diamond Hogs. We'll take a break, and we'll wrap it up when we come back. That fast show flying by. We can take another couple comments. We'll take a look at what's happening in the SEC and look ahead to the final home game of the year. This is the GWATNEY Chevrolet, GWATNEY Buick GMC postgame show.
Penny Cobb Burkhalter here, reminding you that GWATNEY Buick GMC has the best team in town. And with the purchase allowances, cash back, and low rates currently available, upgrading your trade at GWATNEY is a slam dunk.
Call 501-945-4444. 5700 Landers Road in North Little Rock. GWATNEY, BUICK, GMC, we are professional grade.
GWATNEY Buick GMC next to Sam's Club in North Little Rock. With sales, service, and collision, there's no need to drive past us.
Injured at the game? Don't wait. With Ortho Arkansas Saturday Sports Clinic, athletes can find out over the weekend if their injury will sideline their season. Athletes are seen by one of Ortho Arkansas's fellowship-trained sports medicine physicians and may receive x-rays, an MRI, an exam and diagnosis, and a personalized comprehensive treatment plan to get them back in action as quickly as possible. Open Saturdays from 9 to 11 a.m. at 800 Fair Park Boulevard in Midtown. Ortho for all. Ortho Arkansas.
First Security has been putting our home state first since 1932, helping fellow Arkansans and their families buy homes, grow businesses, and build futures. Today, First Security is still committed to helping you bank better, providing local solutions and local support in the places we love too. It's community banking with people you know and people you know you can count on. First Security. Bank better. FSBank.com. Member FDIC.
This year, elevate your style in its Cadillac. Go from bold to bolder in a stunning Escalade. From inspiring to awe-inspiring in a sophisticated CT4 or CT5. From credible to incredible in a dynamic XT4. Visit your Central Arkansas Cadillac dealers.
This is the Pigskin Preacher, bringing you the word. Television had never seen anything quite like the Smothers Brothers Comedy Hour. Tom and Dick Smothers were a unique combination of musical talent and comedy genius. But despite the show's runaway success, their constant criticism of the Vietnam War angered CBS executives who made the decision to cancel them. At a reunion show 20 years later, former writer Steve Martin asked Tom, how does it feel to be right? The truth usually comes out sooner or later, folks. You can count on it. The truth is that Double B's is here to serve Arkansas. Our 34 locations have great food, drinks, and deals on gasoline. Double B's is a one-stop destination for everything you need. Double B's. It's where you gas it, grab it, and go. That's Double B's.
Now's your chance to be a part of the team. Join the Razorback Foundation for as little as $50 to be first in line for tickets, seating, parking, and exclusive events with coaches and players. Plus, members get 20% off at Slim Chickens in Northwest Arkansas. Your membership provides 465 Razorback student athletes with the resources they need to succeed in the classroom and in competition. Join by calling 479-443-9000 or visit RazorbackFoundation.com. As a Razorback Foundation member, you will experience a lifetime full of Razorback memories. Go Hogs!
Tune in to Out of Bounds each Monday for Weekend Recap, brought to you by Fleet Management Services. Serving Central Arkansas for over 20 years, they're your small to mid-sized fleet specialists, offering diagnostic, suspension, tires, maintenance, engine, transmission repair, and much more. When you need someone to service your fleet and get your employees back on the road quick, call 501-375-3672. Conveniently located at 901 East 8th Street in downtown Little Rock.
Battle, top of the circle. Hogs with 17 to shoot. Give it to Battle at the foul line. Leads in. Arkansas's got the lead.
You know, we probably haven't talked enough about Battle today. 34 points, 8 rebounds, 2 steals. It's his third straight game with over 30 points in SEC play, and the last player to do that for Arkansas was Mason Jones. Fantastic 3-game stretch for Battle, man. He's been so much fun to watch. He gets to the basket at will. He's been finishing a lot better at the basket these last 3 games. That's why his point totals have gone up. And he's going to the free throw line at just a remarkable pace, 17 of 18 today. And he missed his first one and then made 17 straight free throws. Caleb Battle has been great for Arkansas.
It's almost like the referee, and this is kind of a James Harden thing he's so good at. The referees are almost conditioned to call fouls for him, right? And the referees just know with how aggressive he is. Hey, man, he's earning his attempts, whether it's a foul or not. The way the guy drives, he drives so often, we got to call it.
And maybe, I don't know, it probably sounds bad to say this, but there were a couple times I'm like, where's the foul?
Yeah, no, he's
manipulating. It's almost like
contact.
maybe they give him so much, and sometimes they're like, he's been the free throw line enough. And I'm sure Calipari's yelling at him, so they just let it go on.
Right.
How about Tremont Mark, though, today?
Right. Oh,
check out his numbers. Tremont Mark, 23 points, 4 rebounds, 3 assists, 4 steals. But as Coach, I think it was Coach Musselman pointed it out, look at Tremont Mark's free throw attempts.
Didn't get to the line.
How does he not get to the line? As many times as he goes to the paint, and I don't know how many times. I bet 3 times I can think off the top of my head that Mark shot and raised his hands like, "Where's the foul?
Right?
Where's the and one? What's going on here? Why is there not a call?" I thought that was
strange.
That Tremont Mark never got to the free throw line.
Strange.
Yeah,
I'm right there with you on that.
And in a game like this, and look, I'm not in any way saying the referees cost Arkansas the game, because Kentucky outplayed Arkansas down the stretch. But they did shoot a lot more free throws, but that's Kentucky and that's Rupp Arena. That happens.
Right.
You know that going in. But for a game that was called as tight as it was, and there were a lot of fouls called in this game, Tremont Mark never went to the free throw line.
Surprising. It was very surprising. Yeah, I feel like it was just weird to see the officials kind of call the game. I guess, once again, second half felt like a lot different game was being called in the first half.
Yeah, and that's
30 personal fouls were called.
Arkansas, 30 personal fouls.
13 in the first.
13 in the first?
30 in the second.
Because one of the 9 of Arkansas's fouls was on Musselman.
Yeah, it's right. That is right. Yeah, technical foul.
Arkansas had 8 personal fouls. I think Kentucky had 5 in the first half.
He was steaming after that one.
Yeah. All right, what else is going on in the SEC today?
One final score, South Carolina gets to 12-4 in the league, 24-5 overall. And this is a big win, too. 82-76 win over number 24 Florida. It's one of 5 first-ranked games across the country today.
That was a good win for South Carolina.
Strong win.
And Florida's been playing well. I would have picked Florida to win this game. I'm glad I woke up a little late and forgot to put my bet in because I'd have lost. I would have had Florida winning this game outright.
25 points for Michi Johnson on the day. Right now, LSU wrapping up a win against Vanderbilt. They're up 75-60, 44 seconds left to go. LSU will get to 16-13, 8-8 in the league. So
LSU's probably going to finish 10-8 in the SEC.
Yeah, they're staring at a potential winning season in the league, and
They finished with Arkansas and Missouri.
probably not going to be a tournament team.
No,
though.
no.
Yeah,
That's what we were
this
talking
year.
about on Out of Bounds.
Yeah.
Their net ranking is so bad. And this win over Vanderbilt does not help their net ranking. If they beat Arkansas and Bud Walton, that doesn't help their net ranking. And if they beat Missouri, that doesn't help their net ranking.
Doesn't help you at all. Auburn right now is beating Mississippi State 43-33, looking for win number 11 in the SEC this year. At 5 o'clock on SEC Network, it's A&M in Georgia. A&M, it's crazy to see them in all of the bracketology still so close. I know they've got a lot of good Quadrant 1 wins, but man, have they had some tough losses.
They have to win this.
Yes.
It's a must-win for A&M to
Yeah.
have. And then they got to finish
6-9
strong.
in the league. They're 2 games above 500, so they have to turn this thing around fast. This was College Game Day's location. It's a game for first place in the league. That's what's on the line. 7 o'clock, ESPN. It's the Tennessee Volunteers, ranked number 4 in the country, at number 14, Alabama, who's 20-8, 12-3 in the league, at Coleman Coliseum. Reese Davis, I know he's a bit biased, but said today that Alabama's atmosphere for college basketball is one of the best he's ever been to. Not sure if I believe that from Reese, but he did say that. And then finally today, Ole Miss takes on Missouri. Obviously, it's a must-win for Ole Miss. Ole Miss might end up being a 22-win team, Wes. 22, 23 wins. It might not make the tournament because their non-conference was so terrible.
Yeah.
And they just haven't done enough quality work. And they're 6-9 in the league.
Yeah, Ole Miss, Texas A&M, both are on the outside looking in. They've got to get some wins down the stretch, and they can't afford to lose to bad teams or teams that aren't going to the NCAA tournament.
Last game, Kentucky beats Arkansas 111-102.
All right, 9-1 Arkansas over Murray State as they go to the top of the 8th inning. Looks like this one's well in hand for the Razorbacks. Coming up next, it's Arkansas and LSU. A 6 o'clock tip, isn't it? That's an early tip.
I won't be here for this one.
You're going to miss.
Yeah, I'm going to be at Stevie Nicks. So it'll be you and Justin Akery. Get the band back together. Apparently.
All right. That'll be interesting.
Excited, Wes?
Yeah, we'll have a lot of fun.
You'll have fun.
Well, join us out at Walk Ons. Great place this evening. Look, you're looking for some patio weather, somewhere to
I'm
go.
going to stay here and have a drink after
Man, this patio is awesome out here. The weather is perfect. Great place to watch the games the rest of the day. Come on out to Walk Ons. Big thanks to them for having us out for all these games. Arkansas Falls, they showed a lot of effort, but they lose to Kentucky at Rupp Arena. Thank you for joining us. Have a fantastic weekend. We'll be back at Walk-Ons next week for LSU and finishing it up with Alabama next Saturday. This has been the GWATNEY Chevrolet, GWATNEY Buick GMC postgame show.